Hey YouTubes, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be refinishing some cork on some rods I've got. I actually did this yesterday and I wanted to do it for the first time to make sure that it worked out okay, and it did. Worked out really well. And so I've got some older Berkley Lightning rods that they should refinish well, and I wanted to show you the process that you guys could do it if you've got any older cork handles on your rods that need refinishing or filling. So I'll drop in some pictures of the rods that I'm actually refinishing today, but here's one of them. You can see it's pitted, and I mean, this is probably from 2006 maybe, so it's quite old. And so we're going to go through the process today of finishing them. You might hear the heater in the background. I'm out in the garage today, so it's pretty chilly. And as a matter of fact, on that same note, you can see here I'm warming the wood filler up. This is some plastic wood. I got it from Home Depot. Natural color. They had a golden oak color I thought about going with, but other than that, a magic eraser is helpful for cleaning the rods up, the handles up rather, and then some sandpaper. I used 120 after the wood filler set up, and then I used 400 and 800 to get a really smooth finish, and I was actually quite happy with the results. I'm glad I did get those finer grit sandpapers. It didn't do a lot, but it did a little and made a lot of difference. It really made it smooth. So I'm going to walk you through the process today. I've got the rods sitting up here on some sawhorses to make it easy, and we'll just walk through it and I'll show you how to do it. All right guys, so you really only need a few things. Magic eraser, some tape for masking, sandpaper. As I mentioned, I've got 120, 400, and 800 to get that really smooth finish. Some U40 cork seal. This seals the cork and the filler so that it doesn't come out, and I use a sponge brush to apply that. And then the wood filler, of course. Home Depot, natural color. Worked pretty well yesterday. We'll get started on this process and I'll show you every step. All right. First step is to clean the cork. Take that magic eraser, dampen it a bit, and just go through the cork handle, scrubbing it. You want to get all the dirt off because we're going to put wood filler on this after this dries. We don't want to lock in any dirt or anything like that that was on the cork before we started. So we're just going to take this, rub the whole handle down, get all the dirt and grime off of it. All right, after you finish Mr. Clean Magic erasering the rods, I would take a rag and wipe all the moisture off, let them dry real good before you start doing the next step. Next step is to tape off the parts of the handle you do not want to sand or apply a wood filler to. I recommend taking your time with this because this will make it easier when you go to sand and clean up. So just tape all the edges, take your time a little bit. You want to protect other parts of the rod that, again, you do not want to get filler on or to have scratch marks from your sandpaper. All right, now that we've got everything taped off, it's time to start wood fillering. So this isn't really the prettiest thing, but I just use my old finger, squeeze some out there, kind of rub it in all the cracks. Don't worry about high spots, low spots. The sandpaper will take care of that. Just make sure you get it in all the cracks that exist. That's the biggest thing. All right, just finished putting the wood filler on with my finger. Put the top on that before it dries out, but the directions say let it dry for 2 to 6 hours. Yesterday I put the heater on it, and it seemed to dry in about a couple hours. So I'm gonna do that today, and then we'll start sanding. This one I had to be pretty heavy on because the cork was pretty bad on it. And some of these spots on like the butt here. That'll come off pretty easy later. So that's it. See you here in a bit. All right, folks. So the rod's been sitting about 3 hours. Got the heater going, and they ought to be ready for sanding. So I'll show you sanding one a little bit, and I'll probably time lapse the rest of them. So let's see. This, as you can see, it's all caked up on there. So this is where it pays to have it taped off. Just lightly sand. Remember, we're going to go in stages. So this is the 120. I've got the 400 and the 800 set out. So I don't want to take too much off. I'll take a little bit more off here with the 400. This 120 will knock all the high spots down, and we'll be able to get to a pretty even surface finish. So 120 grit, done sanding. It's got a pretty nice finish. Now I'm going to hit it with the 400 and then the 800. That should really make it smooth. And then we'll wipe it down with the damp cloth, let that dry, and then we'll apply the U40. And once we do that, it ought to pop. So here we go. 400 grit sandpaper. All right, one thing I left out earlier was baby wipes. You don't have to use baby wipes. I like baby wipes to wipe down my my rod handles and such sometimes, just convenient. So I've sanded everything. So I'm gonna take all the tape off and then I'll wipe them down with baby wipes, let them dry, and then we're going with a U40. All right, rods are dry. It's time to start U40ing. So I've got my sponge brush, got the U40, cork sealant, and gonna start painting it on. Light coat, just one coat, let it dry. Should be dry in about 30 minutes and then 24 hours to cure, and you're good to go. Alrighty, well, U40 has been applied, and now it's time to wait 30 minutes or so, let it cure, or dry rather, and then 24 hours to let it cure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. The rods are dry, and I wanted to show them to you. It turned out really well. A lot of the gaps on this cork filled in, as you can see. Now they're really smooth. Again, I don't know that I'll use them a lot. It's nice to have them in good condition, preserve them. These rods have a lot of memories associated with them. Not that they're high value or anything like that, but yeah, they look good. I'm happy with it. So that's that. If you want to restore the cork on your rods, that's how you do it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. Hit the like button if you want. Otherwise, see you next time. Bye.